There is a place on Earth where light does not exist. A place so vast, so cold, and so crushing that even time feels slower there. If you were to fall into it, past the waves, past the fading blue into the endless black, you wouldn't see what's coming. But something would see you, and it would not look like anything you recognize. At first, the ocean feels familiar. Sunlight dances across the surface. Colors still exist. Life looks normal. But as you descend deeper, something begins to change. Light weakens. Red disappears first, then orange, then yellow. By the time you reach a few hundred meters down, the world is painted in shades of blue, and then suddenly, nothing. This is where evolution begins to bend the rules. In a world where light is scarce, some creatures create their own. Small fish flicker like broken stars. Jellyfish pulse with ghostly blue glows. Predators wear lights like lures. This is called bioluminescence, a chemical reaction that produces light inside living bodies. But it's not just for beauty. It's used to hunt, to hide, to communicate, and sometimes to deceive. The anglerfish, for example, dangles a glowing bulb in front of its mouth, like a trap in the dark. One flash, one moment of curiosity, and it's over. But this raises a larger question. If light is so rare down here, why do so many creatures glow? Scientists still don't fully understand. What we've discovered only deepens the mystery. As you fall deeper, the darkness becomes absolute. No sunlight reaches here at all. This is the midnight zone, a world under constant pressure. At these depths, the weight of the ocean above you is immense. It presses in from all directions, like being buried under thousands of tons. Most life on Earth would be crushed instantly, but here, creatures have adapted in ways that seem almost unreal. Their bodies are soft, almost gelatinous, built not to resist pressure, but to exist within it. They have no rigid bones, no air-filled spaces, nothing that can collapse. Even their cells are different. Inside them are special molecules, tiny chemical protectors that keep their proteins from being crushed out of shape. Without them, life here would simply fall apart. And then there are the eyes. Some creatures have enormous glass-like eyes to catch the faintest glimmer of light. Others have none at all, because in a place where there is nothing to see, sight becomes useless. But here's the unsettling part. If so many animals have abandoned vision entirely, what senses have replaced them? Scientists are still trying to understand how these creatures truly experience their world. Do they feel vibrations, detect electrical signals, sense movement in ways we can't imagine? Whatever the answer is, it's something far removed from how we perceive reality. Deeper still, the ocean becomes something else entirely. Food is almost non-existent. No plants grow here, no sunlight fuels life. Everything that survives must adapt to scarcity. And this is where creatures begin to look monstrous. Some have mouths so large they can swallow prey bigger than themselves. Others have expandable stomachs, allowing them to eat whatever rare meal they find because it may be their last. Teeth become longer, bodies thinner, shapes more unnatural. The gulper eel, for example, has a mouth like a net, wide enough to trap anything in its path. Its body trails behind like a shadow, barely solid. This isn't evolution towards beauty. It's evolution towards survival, at any cost. But here's the mystery. Why do these creatures often look so exaggerated, so extreme? Why not evolve into something more efficient, more stable? Some scientists believe it's because in this environment, there are no second chances. When food is rare, hesitation means death. So evolution doesn't favor balance, it favors extremes. Still, we've only seen a fraction of what lives here, and every expedition reveals something new, something stranger. Which leads to an even bigger question: how many forms of life exist down here that we haven't even imagined yet? At the very bottom of the ocean lie deep trenches, cuts in the Earth's surface that drop farther than Mount Everest rises. This is the Hadal Zone, the deepest, most isolated place on the planet. The pressure here is almost unimaginable. The cold is constant, the darkness complete. And yet, life exists. Strange, fragile creatures, translucent, delicate, almost alien. Some fish here have soft, ghost-like bodies that would collapse if brought to the surface. Others resemble nothing we can easily describe. What's most unsettling is this: these ecosystems have been cut off from the rest of the world for millions of years. They have evolved in isolation, in silence, in darkness. Scientists have only begun to explore these depths. In fact, we know more about the surface of Mars than we do about our own ocean floor. And every time we go deeper, we find something that challenges what we thought life could be. As we descend deeper, life becomes less familiar. Shapes distort, behaviors shift, biology rewrites itself. What we call monsters